Hello everyone, I am MalusCalibur, and this is the War Room. Yes, it's back again, and it's finally time, after procrastination untold, and at least 4 failed attempts, full disclosure on that one, to tackle Risky Vale, which is the most difficult map in the entire War Room, yes, even more difficult than Twin Isle, which is part of the reason why I haven't done it yet. We're going to do it, we're going to do this today, and it's going to happen. So, in the interest of continuing variety, and also the only CO I think it's reasonably possible to beat this fucking map with, it's time for us to use Sammy for the first time in the War Room. Sammy, as you recall, being the infantry specialist whose infantry and mechs are stronger and can capture more quickly. Now, the reason we pick Sammy here is because the main way to survive is going to be mech spam, much as I've ragged on it as a strategy in the past. Because, here's the deal, you are up against Max and Kanbei, who are no slouches in the face-punching department, and indeed they are probably 2 of the toughest attackers in the game. You begin the map completely surrounded by them, and you'll notice that this is the only War Room map that has no enemy HQ, so there's no sneaky ways to win. The only way to win is to kill everything. And that ain't easy, being cheesy or green in Kanbei's case. So the way to start here, as you always must, is to build infantry units, and you'll be building a lot of them. Well, I say that, you'll mostly be building mechs. I don't know if I've covered this before in the War Room, I may have done. Kanbei is bullshit! So, I mean, we all know that Colin is a balance concern, let's say. But Kanbei is also just as bad, because his base stats are 130, 130. Which is huge, and it went up since Advance Wars 1, which when it was 120, 120, which is a little bit more reasonable. Anyway, I'm going to try not to just procrastinate too much. You have a couple of options for your opening strategy. There is a way to sort of trick the AI to get a sneaky win, and indeed that might be the only way to get the S rank here. I'm not too fussed about that, I must confess. You can also just play it straight and capture immediately and try and live. I prefer a sort of combination of the two, because you can get some of Max's bases quite early, and you sort of need to. The opening moves I like to do anyway are to put 1 infantry there, 1 infantry there, and then build a couple more. Now it really depends on what the AI chooses to do, and there are ways to manipulate it, and I don't know what they are, and I've no desire to find out, because that feels a bit like cheating. Nobody likes a cheater. Oh my goodness, no, you don't want to be one. So as you can see, Max has left these 2 bases completely unguarded. So you can jump in and get that, and you can move this infantry to here so it's free to get this one next turn. He doesn't build anything in the following turn most of the time. The AI in Advance Wars can be a bit screwy like that. So now you want to start actually capturing your own base. That is the plan now. And the order you do it can be quite important as well. I'm going to focus on the bases so I can get more units. That is what you want now. That must happen. So a couple more infantry. I'm not going to get mechs just yet because I don't need them yet. But you will, and soon. Once the tanks start rolling in and all that. You'd be forgiven for thinking Grit was a good choice on this map. You would be wrong. He gets overwhelmed too quickly. So here's why we have to pick Sammy, really. Apart from the fact that her infantry and mechs, the unit we're going to spam, are better than everyone else's, except maybe Sensei. The increased capture rate is what you need to protect your investments and ensure you get hold of this right now. And we want to get these. That tank up the top there is not the worst, actually, because normally it is built here. And so it's right up in your grill straight away. The fact that it's up there maybe gives us a fighting chance here, although the fact that this is here is a problem, because, yeah, this is going to get contested quite hotly now. We have to hope that Kanbei does not bring this down and kill it, and then capture with his infantry, because if Kanbei gets this base, forget it. Start over. I wish I was joking about that one. So let's capture this base, and this city. And now we've got fairly free reign. I'm going to build the 1 non-infantry mech unit I'm going to build the entire game, because this artillery is going to sit here and help an awful lot with the overwhelming forces that descend upon our bases. and our bases. Couldn't think of a third rhyme. Never mind, we'll move on. Now, as I said before, I've had many attempts at trying to do this, and a lot of them have failed. Because, as I've said, this is the hardest war room map bar none. Okay, so we lost that, but then Kanbei should... Yes, okay. The AI is weird in that it prioritises neutral properties over your ones. Fuck knows why, because it would have made more sense for him to go there, but we still have to be careful, because if Kanbei gets hold of this base, forget it, you're done. You can't let him get that much of a foothold, is the point. And we do not want this to happen. We'll stop him dead in his tracks. At least that is the plan. Anyway, can't guarantee anything. Alright, so here, we've only got so much money to work with. Also, an issue, hence why you have to stick to infantry and mechs for most of this. And I need to think now, because I have to weigh up starting a new capture, which is important because you need cash, and stopping this. It's not a base, and obviously letting the enemy capture your base is terrible, so don't do that. And obviously I've only got 2 units to actually work with, so I could kill it, but it would require both of them, and it would lock up both of these 2 bases, but that's not necessarily the end of the world. I think that's the way to go here. I think that's what we need to do. Because we can't let this happen, we just can't. And I suppose I could attack it with 1 and capture with another. It's an option. As you can see, deep and complex strategies. So I can only build 1 mech this round, which is fairly important because I was forced to repair this infantry because it got attacked. And that's an issue because mech's kind of what you rely on to deal with tanks and the like. And that tank can just stroll its way up here, which is a bit of a pisser as well. Now normally, Kanbei builds an anti-air or an artillery here. But he's built it over there. That is fucking brilliant. Alright, without getting too much off the topic here. Alright, I'll get to that in a minute. Let's make a decision. Let's stop finagling around like idiots. Piss and balls. Piss on the... Wait, no, let's not even go there. Alright, I'm capturing that with that one. And I'm going to attack with this infantry. So that's just so that doesn't get captured next turn, basically. Then we want to build a mech here. That prevents this recon from getting in and attacking this. It'll probably attack this and kill it. It's important to note you can't really rely too much on getting a good score here, and you have to kind of forget technique. You might have to sacrifice units maliciously. Now over here, I realise I'm just blabbing a lot in this turn and not doing a lot. Let's get stuff built first, because do I take this? I think I do. And then there's that tank as well. It's also an issue. Let's do that. And that. Okay. So the artillery. When it's built in the top right, it makes holding onto that right base even more difficult, which sucks balls, and nobody wants that. The fact that it's over there on the left means it isn't going to participate, which could be huge. Because victory or defeat in this map does tend to hinge on tiny little variances like that. And I wish it didn't, but it does, because it's fucking bullshit. Okay, he's built the anti-air there now, so that's probably not going to work out too hot. The best thing we can probably do now, then, is just leave this unguarded, so that Max's infantry goes and takes it, rather than Kanbei's. I'd rather Max takes it back than Kanbei gets it. Seriously, it would be far worse that way. So let's use the artillery we built, because this is what it's for, to shell that tank, make it fairly non-threatening. We'll take that, and we'll take... No, don't do that. We'll take that. I don't really want this getting in, so let's not let that happen. That's an issue. Okay, no, it shouldn't be, because if I do this... I won't attack, I'll just leave it as a meat shield. So that then blocks the anti-air from getting down here. We can use this infantry to finish that off. Perfect. And then if we just leave this mech here... This ain't going to do jack shit, and this can't get in, because Max won't move this out of the way. He's an idiot. Which is great! Now we're going to be careful here as well, because there's another cunning strategy of Risky Battles to try and steal this base. Quick sticks. It's not impossible, but this tank here is going to make it difficult. I think the thing to do, maybe... well, I've got a choice, again. This is not a very exciting map to watch, I apologise for that. Is to either start capturing this to draw the attention of his tank away from the middle, or to try and sneak by, wait till the tank commits to the middle and then walk on. Hope he doesn't build anything there. It can make a huge difference. The only issue then is this stuff over here is going to start being a concern. Okay, decision made. I'm just going to fucking take this. It'll draw the attention of his tank away. Chances are the tank won't kill it also, even though it is Kanbei and he's bullshit. So I can probably finish capturing it. And any way to reduce Kanbei's income is huge, because his disadvantage on a fairly small map, he can't realistically fuck you over so easily. Okay, so with that decision made, we're now going to make a couple more. We're going to get a mech there, and we're going to get a mech here. We've got one more we can build this round, and I think it's going to be here, just to make sure nothing gets through to my nice artillery. There's no point attacking here really, because I don't want Max to retreat this. I want him to leave it here, wasting its time, so he clogs up the left and doesn't get units inside. Anyway, all of that made sense in my head, so let's hope that it makes sense in practice. Here comes maximum punching once again. So as you can see, Max went for the base. That's fine, it was his in the first place. I'd rather he had it than Kanbei. And it kept their attention away. Okay, so that worked. Sammy will be able to finish capturing that because she's awesome. And because Kanbei goes after Max, that anti-air ain't going anywhere. Okay, that was great. That's perfect, actually. So let's take this. Let that tank kill it. It's not important, really. Again, you have to kind of forget that there's a technique score. Use the artillery to hit the anti-air, because holy shit am I not dealing with that. Now what? We want to deal with this before it becomes an issue, but we might not need to attack to do that. We might be able to just go, badoom, get out of my face, Dick Stain. I don't want anything to do with you. We want to capture, that's always important. And then to that end, we'll use this guy. This is a very strategic map, and I have to think about my moves a lot more. There's a lot less room for error as far as that goes. One small mistake and you can just lose. Also, you have to really watch out for Samurai Spirit. I'll talk about that when it comes up as well. Ugh, fucking bullshit power. Salt mode engaged. So, let's put an infantry here, just as a defensive measure. We don't need to shoot that. That's a waste of time. As for here, probably the best thing to do is just leave this guy here as a deterrent to movement. Max won't move this, so this guy can't get here and hit it. This is a concern, but I can probably resolve it with mechs. That's fine. Now the thinking begins. Yeah, see, the infantry are starting to move in here, and it's becoming a concern. I don't really want to deal with that. But you need to kind of hang on to this as best you can, unfortunately. Alright, hopefully he'll use the tank to do that and won't bring the anti-air in. Can't be sure though, it's a difficult situation. To be sure, to be certain now. Okay, let's shoot that guy. Build a mech there, because yeah, just spam the bastards. Leave him there, and then we've got one more mech we can build, either there or there. I don't think it's going to hugely matter which one, but I'm going to pick it here. Oh, hey, we can build an infantry as well. Probably best to keep your numbers up just so you can meet shield. It's a valid strategy, and it really is necessary here. Okay. Next. Maximum punching has been deployed against you. At least the turns are short. Alright, Kanbei's the one to watch, so what's he doing? Killing that, that's fine, it's what we expected. Killing that is fine, it's what I expected. See, Kanbei is such that you can just kill things or even on cities. Defense bonuses mean nothing when you've got 130% attack. Fuckwit. Ooh, Angra man. So let's hit Kanbei's unit because it's the best thing we can do really. And then if we gang up on it, well, we could take it out, but then that frees up the corridor if you want. That's also an issue. But I don't think there's a lot I can do about it. Oh wait, yes there is. So because mechs, we can do that. That's going to help a lot. A whole lot. Right, next on the agenda. This tank is now down here, which is fine, because it's not causing me issues up here. And that is good, and that is fine, and that is excellent. Hey, it makes me happy to see it happen. So here, I think the plan is, if we put this guy here, he could potentially reach this next turn, but it isn't in range for this tank to immediately zoom over and stop him. Because Sammy being Sammy, you can, if you get one turn of not being shot, you'll capture it. Hopefully. I mean, might even draw this tank away, but yeah, again, we need to try and... Okay, well, let's do the important things. Let's finish the capturing, because money is essential here. And we need to weaken can-base units more than Max's, because they're scarier. You can also use joining to your advantage here, get a little bit of extra cash from that, and build another mech there. Just keep doing it, basically. Spam the bastards, like I've said before. Right, okay, so now let's move this guy to here. Leave this guy where he is. We're going to build something there, most likely. And there. Again, we don't really want to attack if we can avoid it. No, can't join that way round. Has to be the other way round. That's annoying, because I wanted to get this guy out of the way. Joining not only gets you a bit of extra money, it protects your technique score, because you don't lose a unit when you do it, technically. So if you've got like a 1 health thing and there's no way to save it, that might be the way to protect your technique score. I don't really want to spend money repairing it, but the only safe place for it to go, really, is here. So, alright, we'll do that. We'll move this mech to here and shoot that guy, so he's less of a threat. This is being contained by that, and then we want a mech here, and we want a mech here. And we can build an infantry somewhere, or we can save it. How much am I getting in? 12k! Ain't too bad. I don't think 1k will make a lot of difference either way on that one, so... In the interests of meat shielding, we must build more. We must build more infantry. They will march, well they won't march that far. Yeah, I don't really want to free this up, and he doesn't need to go anywhere, he can just defend that city. This isn't going to be a threat, so that's not a problem. That's my turn. What's it going to be, guys?